Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Volunteers in training in Fuding, Fuzhou, and Zhangzhou of China visit care recipients in remote regions, learning to empathize with the less fortunate people. We meet a Tzu Chi volunteer from Malaysia who tamed his temperament and found his life value after volunteering with Tzu Chi. We learn how massaging certain acupuncture points, getting exercises, stimulating the brain and social interaction can help prevent the onset of dementia. In China, volunteers in training from Fuding, Fuzhou, and Zhangzhou divided into 10 groups to pay care visits to those who live in remote areas. Their care recipients they visited include those with mobility issues or those who are mentally disabled.
Hong Yuelian is bedridden and is unable to take care of herself because she is mentally challenged and suffers from cervical cancer. Worried that her daughter, who is also mentally disabled, may get lost, Mrs. Hong keeps her in this small room. Tzu Chi volunteers in Fuding pay a regular visit here, along with some volunteers in training from Zhangzhou and Fuzhou.
Their environment is unsanitary and dirty. Despite this fact, the volunteers still help with endless devotion. This really inspires us.
Although her body smells bad, being able to bathe her is quite a blessing for me. I thank her for giving me this chance.
After trimming the hair for the care recipient's daughter, she not only looks refreshed, but also feels a sense of freedom.
Being able to come out of the room, she feels very happy. We asked her to go inside, but she didn't want to.
Volunteers brave the rain and walk through this muddy mountain road. This is a different learning experience. With the guidance of volunteers, Liu Zhaoyu has learned to be self-sufficient, as now he is able to grow tea and vegetables. However, he has mobility issues after suffering a stroke. This group of volunteers are helping him weed. With the compassion of love of these volunteers, these underprivileged people will feel warmth, which also inspires more people to do good deeds.
In South Africa, volunteers in Ladysmith have been caring for the underprivileged in Watersmith community. Besides providing meals for them 3 days a week, volunteers also pay regular visits to bring them love and care.
Look at the mountains, look at the sea, take your time and just look around.
After consuming rice from Taiwan, these rice bags are used to collect different kinds of recyclables. Local volunteers in Ladysmith provide meals 3 days a week to care for solitary seniors, patients, and orphans. Volunteers personally deliver the meal to the care recipient's home. Toko's spine was injured, so for a long time she can only maintain a lying position.
Do you like our rice?
Yes, very nice.
The rice is nice?
Besides feeding her, volunteers also give her spiritual support.
This is Master Zheng's blessing card, and here's Buddha. Buddha, we're going to pray with Buddha.
This elderly couple, Ellie and Marta, are both over 80 years old. Even though their children have no jobs and rely on them to get by, they are not discouraged by poverty and still live a positive and joyous life. The singing helps heal the spirits and mind of people in South Africa.
In our next report, we meet a devoted Tzu Chi recycling volunteer from Malacca, Malaysia. Gobin Swan started to do recycling at the Malacca Tzu Chi recycling station since 2013. Over time, the amount of recyclables she has collected has increased a lot. To fulfill Mrs. Go's recycling mission, her son built a small recycling room for her to store recyclables.
With the flashlights in her hand, Go Bi-shun collects recyclables in the dark, attracting many people's attention.
We should not care about what other people say since we're doing good deeds. The more we recycle, the healthier we'll become.
When she exercises in the morning, she may look for recyclables.
If I have something to collect, I'll return home at some time past 7.
Since 2013, Mrs. Go has invited her neighbors to do recycling while exercising in the morning 5 days a week. The amount of recyclables she has collected has increased year after year.
In the beginning, my mother brought only a few recyclables with only a few plastic bags. However, over time, the amount of recyclables has increased. Each day I prepare a carton for her to put the recyclables. Now she needs a large carton for the recyclables.
To fulfill his mother's recycling mission, Mrs. Go's son has built a small recycling room in the back of their house.
I feel grateful for my children. They're very considerate and they always say that since I'm happy, they all feel happy too.
Her daughter-in-law and children all support her. This is good for the 70-some-year-old Bodhisattva.
With the encouragement of people around her, 77-year-old Go Bi-shun has the motivation to carry out the recycling mission wholeheartedly.
Also in Malaysia, the Tzu Chi Academy in Johor Bahru recently arranged for elementary school students to visit a J.J. Lyons Dialysis Center. As the students express their love and care for the dialysis patients, they've also learned to cherish their good health. Here's more.
The students of this Tzu Chi school make present and practice sign language before they visit the J.J. Lyons Dialysis Center. The needles on the patients and the machines next to them make the student feel for them.
It isn't easy for them because they must come up for the dialysis 3 times a week, and each time takes up 4 hours.
There are 1 big and 1 small needles inserted to them. If the needles don't insert into the blood vessels, their hands will swell up. It makes me feel painful.
When the students see the dialysis patient's discomfort, it makes them think.
Don't put off using the toilet because it can cause you kidney diseases. You must sleep early and don't drink soda. Don't eat fast food either because it's bad for you.
We hope this visit can give these children a better understanding and to make them realize this kidney disease so they can take care of themselves after they grow up.
The trip to the dialysis center has allowed these students to learn ways to express their love and care for others.
In our next report, we meet a Tzu Chi volunteer from Malacca, Malaysia. Young Tek Pei started to take on his family business after he dropped out of school at the age of 15. His long working hours caused him to lose his passion for life and led him to become grumpy. Then in 2009, after he joined Tzu Chi, he started to change his life. Now he's not only friendly to other people, but he has also found his value in life.
He does everything well, and he is a role model in our team.
When we don't have enough people or drivers, we call on him. Every time we ask him for help, he is willing.
Anything that he is able to do, he will say okay. This Mr. Okay is Young Tek Pei, and he always wears a smile. No one could have imagined that he was unapproachable.
In the past, it was really hard for me to adjust my temperament. I lived a tough, intense life, and I was very busy, so I lost my temper easily, which scared many people around me.
After Mr. Yong dropped out of school at the age of 15, he started to take on his family business. Every day from morning to night, he was always busy assembling bicycles and receiving customers. With the long hours of work, he lost passion for his life and became very grumpy.
Sometimes he lost his temper easily.
He was unwilling to listen to our advices. He was grumpy.
In 2009, Mr. Yong's life started to change after volunteers invited him to join Tzu Chi. He has gradually changed his temperament.
While at work, I'm around family, so I don't have to watch my temper. But after joining Tzu Chi, I started to be around many other people, so I had to keep controlling myself. Later, I figured out a way to adjust my mood.
I can see that he has improved a lot. You can see that he has no worries now. The busier a person is, the greater strength he will have.
He's nice. I like him. He always provides the best services.
Actually, Yong's life has become even busier. Despite this fact, he has found renewed value in life through giving.
In the United States, Tzu Chi volunteers held a free dental clinic in Oakland, California on June 18th. As the event coincided with Father's Day, many volunteers brought along their children to serve. They helped patients know who to turn for help. The volunteers also wore vests of different colors to differentiate their tasks. Let's join them there.
These volunteers are separated into different groups, each with a different color, making them easier to differentiate. Although the weather is hot and uncomfortable, volunteers put the patients at ease and made them feel joyful.
This organization here has kind of, out of the blue, opened their arms to me, so I'll do whatever I can to help back. I wish there was more like this, really.
Tzu Chis came to help during the summer sessions. They are learning to clean disinfection equipment step by step. A female dentist took her son here to have a more meaningful summer.
They did really good job, help dentists to do the free job for patients, a lot of needed patients, which cannot afford the dental work, which is more expensive, and we help a lot through the day.
This particular free dental clinic coincided with the Father's Day, as both events brought blessings to many people.
As Taiwan becomes an aging society, those who suffer from dementia are also on the rise. There's much one can do to prevent the onset of dementia, including getting more exercise, stimulating the brain by cognitive games, interacting with others, and keeping a healthy diet. And from a traditional Chinese medicine point of view, massaging certain acupuncture points can also help prevent dementia.
This is 80-year-old Mrs. Cho, who ran a noodle shop before retiring 8 years ago. Shortly 2 years after her retirement, dementia caught up to her.
It was a big difference. All of a sudden, she thought I was her younger sister. I didn't understand what happened, and I couldn't accept it.
Though she has dementia, Senior Cho's health and spirits are quite well. The other is Mrs. Lai, who's only 65. She suffered from depression, which turned into early dementia. Mr. Lai now devotes himself fully to taking care of his wife.
I want her to interact with other people. It's not just me that's taking care of her. There are many teachers here to look after her and help open up her heart to others.
According to surveys by the Ministry of Health and Welfare, in Taiwan, there are 3.24% of those who are 65 and older who have mild cognitive decline, and while those who have early to late dementia stand at 4.74%. In other words, 1 in every 13 65 or older have dementia. The survey further reveals by the year 2061, for every 100 Taiwanese person, 5 will suffer from dementia, which means every 40 minutes, dementia happens to another person. This is why preventative measures are so important.
We take a walk each day for at least 30 minutes.
Mr. Chen has brought his wife to Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital to especially listen to the seminar on dementia prevention. Traditional Chinese medicine Dr. Lin Zhixiong says massaging Bai Hui and Si Shen Chong acupuncture points helps to prevent the onset of the disease.
From the tip of your ears and extend up towards the skull where your two fingers meet. One can press lightly to massage, while Si Shen Chong is an inch from the Bai Hui point to the left, right, and front to back.
Meanwhile, using your fingertips to brush from front to back of your head can also help to stimulate blood circulation, which decreases the onset of dementia. Lower body strength training is important too.
Extend your arms forward when you're squatting. This way your knee won't extend over your toes.
When seniors are doing this movement, it's best not to overextend one's knees. Walking on a regular basis helps to maintain one's lower body as well as strengthen blood circulation.
When our body is moving, our qi and blood circulates to the brain and nourishes it.
Other preventative measures including staying away from hyperlipidemia, hyperglycemia, and hypertension, as well as head injuries and depression. When seniors get more exercise, stimulate their brain, and interact with society more, it helps to lower the likelihood of dementia.
As Tzu Chi Collegiate Association celebrates its 25th anniversary, a Tzu Chi alumni homecoming event was held at Wanhua Jingsi Hall in Taipei. At the occasion, the Tzu Chi parents expressed their expectations of Tzu Chi alumni. Let's take a look.
Hello， 我们都是慈心学长慈义共同核心，欢迎来我们第3联区，一家人，我们唱给你听。
With lively music and live broadcasts, this event for Tzu Chi alumni at Wanhua Jingsi Hall is like a homecoming party.
We hope that when Tzu Chi alumni come back, they can remember their initial aspirations. Even if they are not in Taipei to accompany other Tzu Chi, they can carry out Tzu Chi's work in their own communities.
Since graduating from college, the Tzu Chi alumni haven't seen each other for a long time. While many have started their own families with children, the Tzu Chi parents still have a lot of expectations of them.
We are getting old and we need you to come back and take over the responsibilities. We also hope you will spend more time accompany the other Tzu Chi.
As many Tzu Chis graduates, I've felt that many things have changed. However, when I see familiar faces of our Tzu Chi parents, I feel that this big family has not changed.
As Tzu Chi alumni recall their initial aspiration, they've also felt the responsibilities to pass on their experiences to the younger generation.
A cooking competition was held in Indonesia's Batam on May 28th, with Tzu Chis asked to present their easy, colorful, and healthy dishes within 2 hours. Every participant put in great effort in this contest. Let's see the results.
Simple, plentiful, and colorful together. These are the elements for the Indonesia Tzu Chi cooking contest. Fine products come from slow work. Shredding and carving cooking materials are not a difficult task.
Actually, cooking vegetarian food isn't tough, but following the idea of simple but colorful is the difficult part. We didn't use onions, eggs, and milk, but we can still make a delicious meal.
We accept the results of this competition because the contest itself is mainly built around teamwork and enhancing our relationships.
The mood became tense when the judges started to sample the cuisine. Since it is a competition, there must be a winner.
If we only talk about the taste of each cuisine, every course is delicious. Every team competing has shown great spirit, and they have dedicated themselves totally into this cooking.
Every course is made with tremendous amounts of effort. At the end, everyone shared their cuisine and were proud of their achievements.
To invite more people to practice recycling in communities, Tzu Chi volunteers in Shandong, China, initiated an evening environmental event in June of last year. They helped spread the idea of recycling from Qingdao to other cities. Recently, Tzu Chi held an environmental event in Jimo City for the first time, attracting more than 50 people.
The volunteers are busy setting up the venue with banners and posters. This is the first environmental event held in Shandong's Jimo City. Volunteers from Qingdao are also on the scene to help.
Master Zhang Yan said that we should learn, experience, and practice what we learn together. Each one of us should know about recycling, but the most important thing is that we should take action to do recycling.
Since June of last year, Shandong Tzu Chi volunteers have initiated this evening environmental event, spreading the seeds of environmental protection from Qingdao to every city of Shandong.
Next, we will promote environmental protection to different communities and families. This will let more people know about environmental conservation and invite them to do recycling.
Although volunteers promote environmental protection in the Mahe Park for the first time, they have attracted many people living nearby to attend this event. Since it has not rained for a long time in Jimo City, it is urgent to promote environmental awareness.
Now it is summer and we eat watermelon very often. But if we don't sort it out from the trash after eating it, it will be rotten and smell bad after throwing it into the trash can. In addition, if we don't sort batteries, the soil and water will be polluted. Actually, it is very important for each one of us to do recycling.
With this regular environmental event in Jimo City, all of the participants, including housewives and children, bring the idea of recycling back to their home and practice it, allowing the acts of sorting recyclables to become part of everyone's life.
In Taichung City, Tzu Chi volunteer Zhang Xiufeng is 80 years old, but for the past 10 years, she regularly showed up at a recycling station to help. She recently suffered a fall, but still insisted on going to the recycling station. Her son worried about her health, so he drove her to the station and also helped sort recyclables alongside her. Let's take a look.
Every Tuesday and Saturday at Nanto's Fuding recycling station, volunteers gather to do recycling. Most of the volunteers are elders. Within the group is the 80-year-old Zhang Xiufeng. She has volunteered as a recycling volunteer for 10 years. A few days ago, Grandma Zhang Xiufeng fell and hurt herself. Her son worried about her condition and thus insisted on taking her to the recycling station. He himself also joined in recycling, accompanying his mother.
I would like to thank my mother. Thank you. You have been hardworking. My mother took great effort to cultivate me. It was really tough for her.
In order to show appreciation for these recycling mothers, volunteers prepared cakes and fruits to share with everyone. Bless these bodhisattvas. I hope that they may joyfully recycle.
At the end of our program, we take you to a new Tzu Chi recycling point in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. After setting up this recycling point, Tzu Chi volunteers have actively promoted environmental protection and invited community residents to become Tzu Chi's donating members. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. See you next week.